G'day and welcome back to part 2 of this RCA Victor radio that was sent over by my friend Buzz over in the US. Last week we discovered that Buzz had set me up by sending over a radio that's in very, very poor condition. But I did manage to get it running, and it's running pretty well. But the speaker on the front is not working. It's not working well at all. So this week we'll start off by looking at that. Here's the speaker, and if I push down in the center of the cone here, you can hear it rubbing. These speakers, you could get a replacement cone. There's a whole list of cones in the parts book, so you could go buy a new cone if you wanted to. I'll take that center bit out. We'll have a look inside. I'll try and get this out. This actually looks like somebody's already put this in. This doesn't. Oh, that didn't look original, is what I was going to say. Now there it is there. I think this is a replacement voice coil in here. There's a screw in the back. Does that come out? I'll take that screw out. What can go wrong? Oh dear. Oh, there it goes. Oh yeah, I can hear the coil turning inside, or the magnet core. At least I hope it's the core. Just looking at that, I think it's holding the... Might be centering the magnet. I don't know. This speaker is never going to work the way it is, so I'm going to go in. I don't want to ruin it, but I'll have a go at trying to fix it. If I break it, it's no loss. It doesn't work anyway. I'll remove the screws. I've got a big washer here because the cone was coming loose anyway. So as you can see, that was loose and was flapping around when I was testing it, so that part will come off easily. Okay, that's all the way around. A little bit hard to see, but there's the spider. It's not attached down the bottom as far as I can tell. So if I can loosen that all the way around, I should be able to remove the cone. I released that spider all the way around at the back there, so this might come out. Aha! There's the anatomy of a speaker. So there's the cone. That's the spider that centralizes the voice coil here. That's the voice coil. And of course that's the speaker basket. There's the core of the magnet, and that's moved over because I took the screw out of the center. So I need to centralize that first. So if I move the magnet, I should be able to centralize. Oh no, the magnet's moving. Oh no! The magnet's moving separate from this thing. Oh gosh. What have you done? Hey look, the whole magnet's going to come out. Oh wow. Hang on. Whoops, oh dear, what was that? Oh, that's the core. Ah, okay. I get it. So that's actually glued on. Or it was. So that should have been glued in there and centered. Oh, well, I guess, yes. Alright, well the thing to do, I was going to say there might be some rust on there, but it doesn't look too bad, bit of rust. The thing to do is to clean this up. Clean this up in here and then put it all back together in centered. That is really too tight for that. So I'll clean that up. We could even spin it in the lathe and just try and remove a bit of material from it. I'm ready to put this back together. The center core, the magnet core, I've cleaned that up in the lathe. I mounted it in the lathe and just sandpapered it. I didn't take any material off it, but I cleaned it up. I covered it with a bit of grease and then wiped it all off again. So it is greasy. Hopefully it won't rust too quickly. This little ring fits on there, and then it goes into the speaker basket. I need to center the core in the center of the basket, so I machined up a little tool to center it. So the core fits in the center there, and of course the outer fits out here, and it should just hold it there. Nice. And now the magnet gets jammed in between the two. Alright. The screw that retains the magnetic core goes in the middle. Hopefully it picks, yeah, that's the little tool's nice and loose there. So I'll do this screw up. Okay, yeah, that's good. So that's still centered. Yeah, that looks great. I've got a bit of paper here which I'll put in the center there, and I'll use that to center the cone. I've attached a couple of wires to the voice coil, and I'm going to put a tone through while I try and center this. Done a bit of fiddling here, but there it goes. So that should center the cone over the core. I've connected my arbitrary waveform generator. It's putting about 90 Hertz signal through there. And the idea is that the magnetic field keeps it centered. I could probably take that paper out, but I'm not game. So it's working, I think. Actually, I will take that out. And it doesn't rub. Alright, maybe it'll work. I've already put a bit of adhesive around where the suspension goes, and I'll just put it on here where the spider is going to attach. Alright, so I'll lower the cone onto it. I only have one shot at this. I've got the arbitrary waveform generator attached. I 3D printed a little tool that hopefully fits in there, just to make sure that spider's sitting down, so I can push it down through the little slots here. Just push that one down there as well. So I think I've got all of it now. I can have a... I can't get it out. Alright, done that bit as well. I thought I had it all, but there's a bit there that's not sitting down. It is now, and the rest of it's sitting down as well. I can see all the way around there. Fantastic. I'll take the bit of paper out. Sounds good. I'll turn the waveform generator off. Let's see what it does. That's good. There is no scrape. Wow. Bit of work there, but I think it's going to pay off. Yeah, that's great. I'll let that adhesive dry for a little while. I'll cut a little felt center, of course, and put that on. But boy, I think that's going to work. Yeah, great. I want to remove this battery carrier frame, and then I'll put it in the media blaster and see how much of it's left after I take the rust off. The electrical power lead's going through the frame. I'll have to remove the lead. One of the leads goes up into the volume control, so I'll just snip it off. The other one's coming out. Oh, there it is there. I'll cut that one off. I hope I can pull it out. There's a knot in the lead. I'll take that out. There's a couple of screws holding the antenna plate on. There's two rusty screws up the top here. They're holding the antenna on as well. I think there's just the 4 screws on the bottom holding it to the chassis, so I'll take them out and it should come free. I'll take this out in the workshop. We'll have a closer look. This is some of the worst areas here. It's pretty rusty and it's actually taken layers off the metal. Not going to come up real good. I'll just remove as much as I can. Put it in the media blaster and then I'll give it a coat of zinc paint or something like that. I've got most of the loose rust off. I'll put it in the media blaster. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be. That's about as good as I can get it. This end's pretty good, but the other end is very, very rusty, and in fact it's gone through. So look, I'm not going to do much else. I'm going to put some phosphoric acid on it. I'll let it dwell for a while, and I think I'll just put a coat of some sort of paint or finish on it and fit it back to the radio. While that battery frame is drying, I'll have a look around the top of the chassis here. I can see it now with the frame out of the way. Here's a better look at the tuning capacitor. This is the oscillator one, the smaller one. This center one goes off to the mixer valve, and this end one goes off to the TRF valve. Something else I noticed is this mixer oscillator tube has a little shield around it, and the little prong that's supposed to attach the shield to the ground is not doing anything. So I'll take this out. There's a little prong, and that'll be attached to pin 1, which it is. So that'll be a ground. And the shield is lined with a copper foil or something. So that's conductive. The outside silver here is purely decorative. It's not conductive. But that little prong should go inside and contact the copper foil lining. I glued down the silver paper there so I can put it back on the valve, and I'll hold the little prong in while I lower it, and that'll contact the copper foil. This radio either came with an external antenna or you could buy it as an option. When you plugged it in, it disconnected this internal antenna and connected the external. Now these little contacts here are dirty, so I need to clean them up. If you move them while the radio is running, it crackles, so I'll clean them up a bit if I can. I'll open them a little bit with my screwdriver, and I've got a file here, and I'll just give them a clean up with that, and hopefully that'll restore positive contact. While that battery holder's out, I'll put the speaker in, be a bit easier. I'll take the output tube out so I can solder the wires back on. The battery frame's dry, so I can refit it. I did go through and just fill up some of the rust with body filler, car body filler, and here I've just used press board and made little, covers if you like. It looks better, but it's a pretty amateur effort. I could have rebuilt the whole thing, just made a new one, but I just don't think it's worth putting that much effort into this radio. I've refitted the frame and the antenna. I've left 2 screws out at the end here. I made up a new board to replace the asbestos heat shield that was in there, and this is press board, and I'm going to see if it even fits. So I got this on my laser cutter, and it does an amazing job. It's very accurate. The 2 tabs here were just bent down to hold it. This board is high temperature press board, so it should be able to withstand the valve temperature. I'll put some power on. We'll see how this speaker sounds. It'll sound awful because it's not in a case, so it'll be very shrill, won't have any bass. There it goes.
And whether or not we just expect too much from our athletes. That's coming up after. The ABC Listen app makes listening to your local ABC radio stations wherever you are as easy as, well, ABC. Tap our
Afternoons with Jimmy Smith. Monday to Friday from midday on Queensland's new home of sport.
Sounds exactly the way you would expect a 4-inch speaker to sound. Now what's happening here, of course, is the bass is bleeding back and cancelling itself out. So once it's in the case and that's blocked off, the sound can't bleed back and cancel itself out. So it'll sound much better in the case.
That is just incredible. The first person on scene was
Now, through Brooklyn Road is $3.60, got out to $5.
Now, a speaker this size is never going to sound fantastic, but I'm really happy that I was able to save it and keep the original speaker in the set. This is only a short video this week. Next week I'm going to have a look at the case and see what I can do with it. I hope you enjoyed the video this week, and I hope you can join me next week for another radio adventure.
Good night, everybody.